I've only had Arlo for a day and a half. But if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Honestly, the cat is the best part of this movie. Something monumental just happened in animation, and it came in glitter, abs, and demon slaying bangers.
Little soda pop, you're all I can think of. Every drop I drink up.
K-pop Demon Hunters, the latest animated film from Sony and Netflix, dropped on June 20th in under 2 weeks, has already amassed an explosive fandom. Think fan edits,
My name is Modem, yeah, you say it double.
cosplay, millions of Spotify listens, and a top 3 ranking on Netflix. It's not just a hit, it's a movement. It's a hyper-stylized animated musical adventure that combines demon-slaying action, glittery pop performances, and sincere emotional stakes into one of the most extra pieces of media I've seen in a long time. And I adore it for precisely that reason. When I first heard the premise, I thought it had to be a joke or one of those parody trailers. A K-pop girl group who moonlight as demon slayers? It sounded like someone who mashed together Sailor Moon, BTS, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer into a blender. But K-pop Demon Hunters commits so fully to its absurd concept that it doesn't just work, it thrives. The story follows Huntrix, a powerhouse K-pop girl group comprised of Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. By day, they rule the stage, win idol competitions, and maintain squeaky clean public images. By night, they fight demons using the power of music, literally.
How it's done, done, done.
It's not just about flashy fights and cool costumes, though there are plenty of them. The core mythology is rooted in generational traditions where music acts as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. These girls aren't just pop idols, they're warriors in a lineage of protectors who maintain the balance between humanity and the demonic realm through harmony, both literal and metaphorical. Honestly, I was floored to learn this was intended as a standalone film. Everything about its world building, ancient rituals, modern pop star politics, supernatural lore, rival bands, and magical institutions screams pilot episode, or at least film 1 of a trilogy. Given the film's popularity before it even released, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix or someone else greenlit sequels, spin-offs, or even a full-on series. It's too rich of a playground to leave untouched. The main conflict arises not only from the rising threat of demons, but also from a rival boy band, the Saja Boys.
A demon boy band?
Charismatic heartthrobs who are surprised actually demons themselves. Before the Saja Boys, real ones remember Four Town. Their music isn't meant to harmonize but to hypnotize, siphoning the emotional energy of their fans to weaken the boundary between worlds and empower their evil demon king. Rumi, our protagonist, is revealed to be half demon, dun dun dun, a secret that she hides from everyone. Her connection with Jinu, the leader of the Saja Boys, creates a morally murky romance that underscores her struggle with identity and self-acceptance. The other girls too get their own flirty moments with the Saja Boys, and the fans in the movie react just as real K-pop fandoms do, with breathless speculation, shipping, and out-of-context photos that suggest scandalous romances. The meta commentary is hilarious and painfully accurate, making it one of the most immersive fandom-forward films I've ever seen. Here's where K-pop Demon Hunters absolutely excels, syncing action, music, and emotion into one cohesive experience. Every fight scene is a dazzling set piece, complete with glittering visuals, tightly choreographed movement, and songs that generally slap. While the music isn't traditional K-pop, it's all in English with a few Korean words tossed in there, it nails the feel of K-pop, the bombastic production, catchy hooks, and dance-forward energy. Even if you're not a fan of musicals or K-pop, the film's use of music as a narrative tool is powerful. Songs aren't just background noise, they're emotional battlegrounds. And unlike a traditional musical where characters burst into song without warning, the plot motivates these moments. Music is how Huntrix channels their power and how they emotionally connect with the world around them. It's a refreshing take on the genre that feels grounded even in its fantasy. For all of its flashy aesthetics, the movie has a surprisingly heartfelt core. The true villain isn't just the Demon King, it's Shame. Huntrix lives by the mantra of perfection, never showing fear or weakness. They're idols after all, perfect, plastic, pristine. But behind the scenes, they're just young women carrying the burden of fan expectations, internalized shame, and imposter syndrome. That pressure literally manifests in Rumi losing her voice, her shame rotting her from the inside out. It's only by embracing her demon heritage, not rejecting it, that she's able to sing again. Her voice doesn't return in a grand moment of realization, it just comes back. Quietly. She doesn't conquer her shame in one moment, she learns to coexist with it. The same goes for Jinwoo, whose tragic backstory is revealed not as noble sacrifice, but selfishness.
I left them!
Yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check.
That guilt keeps him chained. Both Rumi and Jinwoo are locked in prisons of shame, and it's only by accepting themselves that they find freedom.
A few moments later.
Jinwoo, no.
Now listen, I'm not gonna lie, yes, the movie has flaws. The ending crams in a bit too much. Only a few villains get named, some character arcs feel rushed, but honestly, who cares? The vibes are immaculate. The characters are hilarious. The animation is gorgeous. The crow and the derpy cat deserves their own merchandise lines. The whole thing feels like a sugar rush, and I wouldn't change that. And I understand Rumi is like the main character, but I feel like Zoe and Mira could have used a bit more character depth, especially in that final act, and you know the scene I'm talking about. But what we get is still strong enough that it doesn't feel like a disservice. Their dynamic with Rumi is the heart of the movie, a sisterhood built on chaos, shared trauma, and unconditional love. Now, let's talk about why this film matters and why it might signal a permanent shift in the animation hierarchy. In a revealing interview with Animation Magazine, directors Maggie Kang and Chris opened up about the creative freedom Sony granted them during the development of K-pop Demon Hunters. What stood out most? Sony doesn't enforce a house style. To explain, when you think of Pixar, a certain type of aesthetic likely comes to mind. Rounded, cartoony faces, glassy eyes, soft lighting, and a sense of clean, wholesome polish. It's beautiful work, but also formulaic. Disney too clings tightly to its animation brand, rarely straying far from its tried and true blueprints. Sony, by contrast, has leaned fully into the experimental. Just because Spider-Verse was a visual game changer doesn't mean every future project needs to look like it. That's huge. It means creative teams can adapt visual styles to match story, tone, and emotion rather than the other way around. Maggie Kang herself admitted she was expecting to fight every step of the way to get her story made. Instead, she and her team were met with nothing but support. That trust shows in the final product. K-pop Demon Hunters feels like a passion project all the way through, a rare case of full creative freedom in an industry that often micromanages imagination out of existence. Let's be clear, Pixar and Disney have made incredible films, but the sad truth is that they also lost their edge. While studios like Sony, DreamWorks, and Amazon Prime Video have been innovating with bold storytelling and striking visual styles, Disney seems content to repackage nostalgia and coast on brand recognition. The timing here couldn't be more telling. The same week K-pop Demon Hunters hit Netflix, Pixar's latest film Elio debuted in theaters. While I have yet to see Elio in theaters, I have heard great and positive feedbacks about it. It seems to be about a sweet and meaningful story about a neurodivergent child that gets kidnapped by aliens.
What?
Sony's animation division has been on a roll since Spider-Verse. They literally blew the roof off the industry, and now with K-pop Demon Hunters, they've proven it wasn't a fluke. They're not just telling cool stories, they're empowering artists. They're letting things get weird, emotional, stylized, fandom driven, and it's working. One of Disney's biggest mistakes in the past decade has been treating animation like it's strictly a reliable cash grab. You can feel it in the heavy reliance on legacy IPs. I mean, how many more live action remakes do we need? This year alone, we got what? Snow White, Hot Ass, and Lilo and Stitch. Last time I checked, they made over like what, $1 billion in the box office. That's because people were there strictly for the nostalgia. And oh yeah, spoilers for Lilo and Stitch. Skip here if you don't want to hear it. You know how in the original animated movie, Nani did everything in her power to keep her sister by her side? Nah, in the live action, she gave her to the government. Anyways, meanwhile, studios like Sony, DreamWorks, and Amazon have understood a key truth. Animation is a medium, not a genre. It can be used to tell serious stories, bizarre comedies, wild fantasy, teen melodrama, or anything in between. I mean, look at these past hits. DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon Trilogy, The Wild Robot, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Sony, Spider-Verse, now K-pop Demon Hunters, Amazon, Invincible, The Legend of Vox Machina. These aren't just good animated movies and shows, they're great projects. Period. And each of them is built on a foundation of artistic risk-taking and directional trust. What makes K-pop Demon Hunters feel so different, so alive, is how much trust was placed in its creators. You can tell this wasn't a boardroom project. The film oozes personality and vision. It's a story about identity, shame, performance, and community, wrapped in high-octane fight scenes, killer dance routines, and a splash of pop-fueled romance. The creative synergy between the directors, animators, and platform is palpable. This is what happens when a studio says, "Here, take some of my money and go make something crazy." Audiences responded.
More! Good! More!
In under 2 weeks, the film exploded into a full-blown fandom, cosplays, fan art, TikToks, theories, edits, and not to mention the dreaded fan fiction. I think that's the fastest I ever seen fanfiction pop up in a couple of hours. It's not just a movie, it's a moment. People are watching it on repeat like it's an album. The music alone has hit over 4 million monthly Spotify listeners. Clearly, something about this film hits. It's not that Disney is incapable of making good things anymore, they're just refusing to take the kind of risk that makes animation exciting. With the rare exception Turning Red comes to mind, most of Disney's recent output feels more like it's designed by committee than by creators. They have allowed themselves to believe that because they were once the gold standard, they'll always be.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
But K-pop Demon Hunters is proof that the audience has moved on and they're hungry for new voices, new visuals, and new vibes. Listen, at the end of the day, K-pop Demon Hunters is ridiculous, messy, and over the top in all the best ways. It's a bold, sincere, glitter-drenched spectacle that knows exactly what it is. If you go in expecting high art or groundbreaking originality, you'll probably look at it and discuss. But if you let yourself sink into the vibe, if you let yourself love something unironically, you'll have an absolute blast. It's a film about music, monsters, sisterhood, and healing. It's about being hot, powerful, and broken and weird. It's for the girls, the gays, the days, and the boys in the backseat scrolling through K-pop edits. So, if you ever loved a boy band, felt too weird to be cool, or just want to watch glowing girls beat demons with the power of synchronized dance, give K-pop Demon Hunters a shot. It might just be your new hyperfixation. And yes, I would absolutely sell my soul for a sequel. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to that notification bell so you never miss an update, and let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite song for K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm not gonna lie, the Soulja Boy's Your Idol has been on a repetitive loop in my head.
Yeah, you gave me your heart, now I'm here for your soul.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.